What's up, Prop Nation? It's your boy John here today, back again for another Thursday night preview between the Carolina Panthers. They're traveling to the Windy City to play the Chicago Bears. The 2-7 Chicago Bears, I might add, the 1-7 Carolina Panthers. Oh dear. It is the Bears favored, -3.5, and the over-under is at 39 at the moment, sitting there. It opened at 40.5. It's being bet down. Makes sense. If you're enjoying these Thursday night previews, if you're enjoying our content, please like and subscribe. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, of course, or X as well. And it really, really helps us out. So we've had a very, very good record. We're sitting at 27 and 12 on our Thursday night episodes. We're sitting at 69%. Nice. Last week was a good week. We went 4-1. We couldn't get Kenny Pickett over 216.5 passing yards. In fact, he wasn't even close. It was a bit of a bummer, but Will Levis over 206 passing yards was excellent. Derrick Henry over his 12.5 receiving yards. Excellent. DeAndre Hopkins, oh my gosh, that was free money, over 3.5 receptions. I think he finished with 4 in the end, but still, hey, we got there. And Deontay Johnson had a huge game, and he finished over 4.5 receptions as well. So that was excellent. But we're looking to this game between the Panthers and the Bears. I'm not expecting a huge shootout here, even though we know that the Bears are capable of it. But the Panthers defense is no joke. And on the Bears side, I mean, Jalen Johnson's just playing lights out. So we'll get into that in a second. Just quickly on the weather, it's going to be cold. It's going to be about 10 degrees. No chance of rain, though, so that's good. It should be clear. A little bit of wind in the area, but not too much. It shouldn't affect the ball too much. As far as injuries go, we know that Justin Fields has not played in about a month. He did have that thumb injury, but he has been limited in practice this week, so he is semi-expected to play. We're still not seeing him in the sports books. It's Wednesday morning here in Australia, so Tuesday night in the States. So we don't have an update yet, but we do expect him to play. Some books here in Australia, like Sportsbet, they've got Justin Fields lines up, so that's good, but they're the only ones I could find, and it was pretty low. So we'll see how that goes. The other one, Khalil Herbert has been a full participant in practice, as has Cole Kmet. They were dealing with their separate injuries. Khalil Herbert should be back. I don't think he ever made it to IR. I can't remember, but he was on the pup. Tremaine Edmonds as well in the defense for the Bears did not practice as well. And it says knee, so I don't think it's like a Veterans Day or anything like that. On the Carolina Panthers side of the ball, so DJ Chark has been not practicing this week as well with an elbow injury. But that's all as far as the offense goes. But on the defense, I did just want to point out Brian Burns and CJ Henderson are both in concussion protocol. I don't know if they're expected to come out of that or not, but that could have an impact on the passing game there. Just before we get started as well, quickly on the DVOA, so nothing to cry home here. Bears are sitting at 29th overall in DVOA, and Panthers are 31st. Bears offense is 26 and defense is 30. And then the Panthers offense is 31 and the defense is 26, which is kind of interesting because the Carolina Panthers defense has actually been playing pretty lights out good football. They are giving it up in the run game, though, I will say. So maybe that's where it's sort of getting won and lost for them. But without further ado, let's jump into the actual numbers, into the spreadsheet, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we will start with the Carolina Panthers. And exactly as I was saying, so they've got covered their spread one time this year. It was against Houston in that game that they won. Other than that, it has not been looking too good for them. I did catch on PointsBet here in Australia. You can catch the Panthers +4 if you can. But the 39 over-under, as I was saying, it is being bet down. Now, shut down they have been, whether it's Tua, CJ Stroud, Gardner Minshew, of course, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, they've shut them all down. It's only that shootout that happened in Seattle with Geno Smith. I think Andy Dalton was in that game, and he passed for something like 360 or 400 yards, something insane like that. That's been the only time a quarterback has gone over their passing props. So Justin Fields coming off an injury here. I'm not expecting a lot from him, despite I know we've been saying like he has been making us a lot of money this year because his lines have been sitting around 180, 190, 200 in some spots. You bet the over, you've been making some money there, but this is going to be a tricky game. If you can find him at like 210, 200, I'm keen to bet the under. I did see on Sportsbet, as I was saying, his line is up now. It's at 195 though. And that makes me a bit nervous because I think that, we could see Fields pass it around. We don't know what to expect, though, with the thumb injury. Similarly, again, so pass attempts, pass completions, all quarterbacks have sort of been going under. It looks like they've been sticking to the run game. This is where the Panthers have really been giving up, is in the run game. Now, they've faced some great rushes as well. Jonathan Taylor, we talked about last week. He ended up with like 47 rushing yards. Zach Moss was being heavily utilized as well, though. So we're not sure if they just actually didn't need him. But the scrimmage yards, the all-purpose yards were there. So maybe this is an area we can attack. The only rushers who haven't had success was Dameon Pierce or Devin Singletary. Like, neither of them have been very good this season, though, so not too much to take away from that. All other rushers, like Raheem Mostert, David Montgomery, Alexander Madison, they've had success. So this is an angle, but we will get to this three-headed monster in a bit because it's tricky to know what to do with the Chicago Bears run game. The wide receiver one, so DJ Moore, look, he could be in for something. And this is where I was sort of saying, like, I might be more inclined to either bet Justin Fields under passing or DJ Moore over receiving. He's sitting at about 50.5. I know that sounds really counterintuitive, but I would not bet both of those at the same time. One or the other. You got to pick your side here. Do you want to go over passing or do you want to go under passing and to affect DJ Moore? The receiver two, so Darnell Mooney might struggle in this game. And man, these Panthers linebackers, they have been very, very good stopping all tight ends in their path. Of course, they struggled with Laporta on the lines, and then Noah Fant had a good game as well in that shootout. But other than that, they've been shutting down all tight ends. Mind you, look, they haven't played many good ones. I mean, Miami, Durham Smythe, Houston. Who are they even rolling out at the moment? It's Brevin Jordan. I think there's someone else I'm forgetting. Indy have had a rotation at tight end as well. TJ Hawkinson couldn't get them, but hard to say if that was just a down game for him. So not like a huge tight ends. Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith. But that was week one. We'll see what happens there. So could be a tricky game for Cole Kmet, although he has been very, very good. So pick your battles there. Let's jump over now to the Chicago Bears side of things. And as far as like spreads and over-unders go, they've been sort of choppy and changey. Tyson Badgett's been filling in for a little bit now. What I will say, so quarterback is a bit all over the place. We could see some success here with Bryce Young, particularly in this pass completions area. And once we get to Bryce Young, I'll dive more into that. The run game's really come together for the Bears. First 4 weeks, they weren't too good. But as it's gotten now for week 5 through till 9, they've stopped everyone in their path. Look, Austin Eckler's not a huge rusher, but Alvin Kamara couldn't get over last week with them. Josh Jacobs had a really bad game against them a few weeks ago, we'll remember. Alexander Madison, not too great. And then Brian Robinson couldn't do too much either. Pass catching could be good, though. But the problem is it's Miles Sanders or Chuba Hubbard. We just don't really know where to go with that at this stage. So we'll see what happens there. And this is what I was alluding to earlier. Jalen Johnson, I think his name is PFF's number 2 corner in the league at the moment. And you can see here, he's been shutting down everybody. So that's Chris Olave, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson did get hurt in that game. Terry McLaurin, Jerry Jeudy, Travis Kelce. So I know this is Rashee Rice, but even Travis Kelce here on the side as well couldn't get his props. The only receiver who's had success against him was week 2. It was Mike Evans. So Jalen Johnson playing lights out. Adam Thielen is currently sitting at around 75.5 receiving yards. He's been playing lights out as well, but I fully expect this to be a down game for Adam Thielen. This might even be one of my locks of the week. I actually caught him, I think it was on Tab here in Australia, who got up to 80.5 receiving yards. It was heavily juiced the under, but I took that anyway. I think that's a really great number. So Adam Thielen definitely under 80.5 receptions. Receiving yards. Man, 80.5 receptions. That'd be something. All right, let's now dive into the quarterbacks. We'll kick off. I think they're side by side here as well, which really helps me if you're watching on YouTube as well. So Bryce Young, this is where I was saying you can make some serious money on pass completions. I'm not sure what it is about the Carolina Panthers scheme at the moment, though, but even if it's a check down machine, Bryce Young is actually throwing the ball around a fair bit. He has gone over a few of his passing attempts lines, but it is the completions that I'm looking at. So they're catching the ball, which is great to see. He started really going over his passing yard line as well. So there might be some value in that for Bryce Young. And then if you can get 1.5 touchdowns under, that might also be a fairly safe bet. So we're going to add that one to the card. Bryce Young over, if you can get 21.5 pass completions, excellent. 22, I'm still comfortable with that despite Jalen Johnson. I'm still comfortable with it. 23 is where I start to, I don't think I would take 23. Justin Fields on the other side as well. So this could be a bit tricky. We just saw the Carolina Panthers defense and what they do to quarterbacks. So if you can get Justin Fields at 210, bet the under. 200, you might even want to bet the under there as well. Once we started to get into the 190s, that's where I get a little bit iffy, just because I know Justin Fields is generally a very good passer and he's constantly overlooked in that space. So a bit tricky there. 55.5 rushing yards. I'm going to bet the under there as well, but I'm not going to go there actually. But it is worth noting that he has not rushed. He's not been too much of a rusher this year. Speaking of rushing, this is where it gets really, really tricky between both teams. So we'll start with the Panthers. Miles Sanders, man, he's had a bad season. For the contract that they gave him, he's not been heavily involved. And right now you can get him about 20.5 rushing yards. I don't mind betting over that. That's more of a crapshoot. That'd be more of a cheeky one. That's not on my ticket. Chuba Hubbard, I did catch him at 50.5 rushing yards. We did talk about it already before. The Bears rush defense is coming on strong now. So I really like betting under 50.5 for Chuba. That is on my ticket. Chuba Hubbard under 50.5 rushing yards. Despite the fact he has been given the ball a lot, you can see his rush attempts have increased. He's been the back to have. But I wonder if Miles Sanders, now he's sort of more a week or so removed from his injury, will he be more involved? So that's another angle that you could attack with Chuba Hubbard as well to get that under there for 50.5. This is the three-headed monster that is just causing me nightmares. Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson, and D'Onta Foreman. Now, D'Onta Foreman, I had him in my spreadsheet at the start of the season. I removed him because 5 weeks in, he had done nothing. He was not a factor at all. And then, bam, we woke up one day and there he was, carrying the ball an astonishing amount. He was sort of like 15 attempts, 16 attempts, then last weekend, 20 attempts. He's going over his rushing props. So I think they actually quite like him. Now, I don't think this will not be a Roschon Johnson game. I'm just going to put it out there. Look, I've got no idea. I've got no idea what it's going to be, but I suspect Roschon Johnson will be the 3 here. I suspect Foreman will be the 1, and I suspect Khalil Herbert coming off injury might be the 2. I'm not betting anything Khalil Herbert, which is a shame because the Panthers run D has been giving it up to the running back. So even though they come on strong the last 2 weeks, D'Onta Foreman over 60.5 rushing. It makes me nervous, but it is on the card. So let's go. We'll see what happens there. All right. And we'll finish up with these receiving options, starting with the Panthers, of course. And like I was saying, Adam Thielen is just playing lights out, man. He's having a great, great season. He's a really good veteran presence for Bryce Young and in that locker room, despite the fact that the Panthers don't really have any true elite wide receivers. Like I was saying, on tab, he got up to 80.5. It was heavily juiced to the under, but I still thought that was a really good number. Like I was saying, Jalen Johnson's been shutting down all receiver 1, so I fully expect him to be on Adam Thielen, and I fully expect Adam Thielen to struggle in this game. I think they might have more success through their tight ends, maybe even a big Jonathan Mingo game if he can come on strong. DJ Shark did catch that touchdown last weekend, even though he hasn't really been going over his lines. But Jonathan Mingo is up to 40.5, and I'm not sure what the reason is for him being up there. I'd almost want to bet the under, but I'm not going to do it. It's Adam Thielen, again, makes me nervous because he's been so good. He's gone over his prop lines every week since week 2, except for last week. So we'll see what happens there. But Adam Thielen under 80.5 receiving yards, definitely under 75.5 as well. I feel comfortable with. Let's finish with the Bears receiving options as well. DJ Moore. So this is where it gets tricky because we're fully expecting Justin Fields to go under his passing, but you can't parlay Justin Fields under passing with DJ Moore over receiving. It's when you can, and you get some great value for it, but it's a bit counterintuitive. Look, DJ Moore could finish with 60 yards for sure, and then Justin Fields could finish with 180 yards for sure. but we'll see what happens. Cole Kmet is the other tricky one. So Panthers are good at linebacker. They have been stopping tight ends. But Cole Kmet, he is a star. Darnell Mooney's also having a good season as well. That this is with Tyson Bagent as well. So no shade there. They've been all right. But what I will say is the Panthers have been shutting down receiver 2 options. So it makes me nervous here. Look, one of these guys is going to finish under their prop line. We just don't know which one it's going to be, of course, because we can't see into the future, of course. And that's why we love sports betting. That's why we follow these sheets. But that's going to do it for another episode of our Thursday night preview between the Bears and the Panthers. Thank you for following along. I'll just do one quick ticket summary recap. So I do have here Bryce Young over 21.5 completions. Justin Fields under 210. It makes me nervous. Maybe we'll shelve that for now. Deonta Foreman over 60.5 rushing. Adam Thielen under 75.5 receiving yards. Chuba Hubbard under 50.5 rushing. Then the cheeky ones, yeah, Justin Fields, DJ Moore, I talked about if you want to go over 50.5 receiving. And Cole Kmet under 35.5. It also makes me a bit nervous, but sort of do what you will with that. Hopefully we'll win some money here, and we'll be back with the Sunday slate with Sully as well, which we've been really enjoying making the content. Like and subscribe. Follow us along. Enjoy the game, and we'll catch you next week. See you later.